All right, everyone. So it's time to say goodbye and look back at 2022 and look forward into 2023. Yeah, sorry for the clickbait title, but hopefully it got your attention. So, one of the things I look back on of 2022 and the things I've done on this channel. Uh, by the way, if this video is like kind of skipping around, I don't know why my Elgato face cam is doing this. Not entirely sure what's going on with that. So I'm gonna have to look into that. So if it does skip around, if it seems like it tends to skip around, that's why. Not entirely sure why. So it is what it is. But anyway, um, so looking back, I've done quite a bit of videos, and while there were things that happened during 2022, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There wasn't like anything all that exciting in 2022 in terms of things to really talk about. It's like, stuff that happens, like, oh my God, look at this. And really, truthfully, the only real notable thing that most likely happened was the news of the Activision Blizzard potential acquisition from Microsoft, which I think it's actually going to go through. We're in 2023 now. I actually think it's going to get finalized this year and it'll move forward. So that's what I think about that. But all in all, this year, 2022, for the most part, in terms of gaming, entertainment, and stuff, not all that exciting, honestly. Um, but in terms of stuff I do on this channel, I've been slowly working towards updating some things, upgrading some stuff, and making things better going forward. And I'm going to say I'm probably about 80-90% there now as of this video. The last big update to the channel is I decided to take the plunge and get a new camera. So I'm actually waiting for. I should be able to get that sometime. Actually, this week now, as of this video. So I'm basically getting one of those Sony vlogging cameras, not the one that looks like it has the smaller lens. It's actually the middle version. I managed to actually find a really good deal on it with some additional accessories, so it was a little hard to pass that up. So I'm going to be getting that soon. And one of my things I wanted to do on the channel is also do more varieties of stuff. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy like making videos about games and stuff. The problem is that at least in 2022, especially in the second half of the year, it was actually getting really, really hard to just come up with things to talk about. I don't really do reviews all that often. I think there's better people out there. I think of this more as like a gaming lifestyle type of channel than anything else. And one of the things I've been doing a lot more lately is streaming. So if you're actually not aware of that, I actually do quite a bit of streaming, even though I don't get that many views, but I do stream quite a bit, and I actually do find that enjoyable. So it will be just talking about random things, or just me playing games, interacting with the chat, making comments about videos that I'm watching on YouTube, for example. So stuff like that to me is actually enjoyable. And going into 2023, I actually still want to continue doing streaming, but I also want to do more types of varieties of types of videos. So like if there's events that comes up, I would like to try to go there, document, and just talk about my experience there, which is part of the reason why I want to order a new camera. And Actually, some of the things I picked up recently is one of these. So the reason why I got one of these is because I actually do have one of these Rode interview wireless mics. These things. These are actually really good, by the way. There is like a new version now where it has the ability to have two of these at once, so you can have like two different people. But for me, it's not really that necessary. And the nice thing about this and getting one of these is that you can just take this part off. You get this, and you just clamp this on like that, and then you can just put the this little windshield thing back on. And if I'm like at some event or something and I want to basically interview people, well, I have this. It's like, hey, what's up? So that's part of the reason why. Plus these, if you already have these things are actually pretty cheap, which is kind of odd coming from this brand. But nonetheless, so that, getting a new camera, in terms of doing like gameplay stuff here at home, streaming and all that, it's pretty much finalized at this point in terms of the setup. One of the things I actually did over New Year's is, and I'm actually there's a video that's going to show up on Monday. So basically the following day of this video when this is posted. So look out for that. So if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Feel free to like this video and leave comments. It helps out. And it helps you keep yourself notified about all the things I do on here. But one of the things I did recently was got one of those Mocha, I think that's how I call it, a Mocha device. Basically, it's a two-piece system where it basically uses your coax cable as your internet line. So basically, the way my place is set up, the room I'm in here, which is the master bedroom, there's no Ethernet jack in here. So basically, for basically as long as I lived here, I basically relied on Wi-Fi. And honestly, it was getting to the point where I was getting so many Wi-Fi interferences and all that stuff. And especially the community I live in, it's a townhouse community, very dense. And especially now with Internet of Things devices, smart devices, having multiple devices all with Wi-Fi, it would cause a lot of Wi-Fi interferences. And I can just tell you this, that after I did this upgrade here by getting one of those devices, it's basically having true wired internet in here now, which is really awesome. If I just do like a quick speed test real quick, on average I would get like between 80 to 150 on average. And I'm at 334 megabits per second. And my upload speed is actually about 21, 22 megabits, which is basically the rated speed what I pay for my ISP. So yeah, it's pretty much rock solid now. The only reason why this would fail is if the device fails at this point. So we'll see in terms of reliability how well or how long this lasts. But for the most part, this particular brand I got, I can't remember the exact brand, but in the video it's going to show the brand and the box and all that. But so far, it's actually pretty rock solid. I'm actually quite shocked by it. So yeah, now I got my desktop computer hardline, my Xbox Series X, my Switch. Which, on a side note, with the Switch, no real difference in terms of speed. Though you won't really run into like Wi-Fi interferences, but that's pretty much it. In terms of the upload and download speed, honestly, with the Switch, there wasn't really that much of a difference, which is kind of unfortunate if you think about it. Hopefully, that's one of the things Nintendo improves on with their successor to the Switch. And also, I now have two Atari VCS consoles. For a while, I've had that Onyx Black version. That one has actually been turned into a Windows 10 emulation box. And I bought a second VCS with the black walnut design. And that one is the Atari OS, or the Atari game console, out of the box. So, and I'll be honest with you, it's been, for the most part, it's actually been pretty solid for me. There were some issues with updating the consoles lately, but once you get it updated by different means, for the most part, it's actually pretty reliable. I haven't had actual hardware issues, though I will say this. I was in a Micro Center not long ago, and Micro Center actually brought in more Atari VCS consoles, because now they're $299, but I didn't pay $299 for mine. But I bought one. It's like, oh cool, $299. I do the unboxing, which is actually, I did an unbox. I'm actually going to work on the unboxing video after this video, and that's going to go up on the next week, the second week of January. But yeah, so I did the unboxing. It's like, cool, did the unboxing. All right, let me hook it up and everything. And the hardware just locks up. I tried reflashing it a couple times, updated to the latest version of the OS and the BIOS. Locks up. You get graphical glitches on the screen. Everything is like, all right, I think this one's just faulty. Which is ironic, because when I returned it, or the day I was returning it, I found out that on Atari's website they actually had them on sale that was even cheaper. So I'm like, maybe this was just a sign for me to just return it and then just order it online, which just ended up what I did. So now I have two. And I will make a video later on about the experience I've had so far with the VCS running Windows for emulations, because I think that's one aspect of the VCS that I think a lot of people don't really realize, that the hardware itself kind of excels in that area. You can make fun of Atari, attempting to come out with a console to compete with, with Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. But I look at it more like a hobbyist console, where, yes, you do have your traditional game console side of things, but if you want to expand it, you can upgrade the RAM and the storage on it just fine. It's actually designed to do that anyway. But if you run like Windows, Linux, some kind of different operating system that's been ported over to it, I must say it's actually pretty rock solid. Like currently I'm running Windows 10 on it. I'm running RetroArch on it. I played NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis. Did I say N64? Atari Jaguar on it. If you don't know, there's actually a new emulator that recently came out not too long ago for Jaguar games. It's not 100% compatible yet, but pretty much all of the retail cartridge-based games all works on it, and it's pretty much near flawless. That's actually the best Jaguar emulator you can get right now. Which, fun fact, it's actually the same emulator that was used in the Atari 50 Anniversary Celebration Collection. Because that collection has a couple of Jaguar games on it. But the emulator they use for it, it's the exact same one that this other one uses. So, rock solid. It's actually nice to finally get a Jaguar emulator because I've been looking at prices, especially for the hardware lately, and let's just say Jaguar consoles, even like non-working units, are ridiculously getting expensive. Like the cheapest one I found on eBay for a non-working listed as for parts and repair, the cheapest one I found was $250 for a broken unit. Let alone box consoles. Those are like getting up to like the $600-800 mark now, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So yeah, I'll just say this. Back when I did that unboxing of a brand new, never opened Jaguar console, I think I paid like around $400 or so. I thought it was expensive at the time, but it's like, I mean, if I want to get rid of it, it's like I can actually make money off of it. So, but I don't plan on getting rid of my Jaguar stuff. That's, if you don't know, my collection's actually just sitting right there. Yeah. So it's sitting right there. My Jaguar stuff is all sitting right there. All my cartridges. Here's my CD stuff here. And some miscellaneous stuff up here. And down here, it's some Humber stuff. So that just gives you an idea as I hit my desk. But actually, you know what? Let me turn on my ring light. Yes, I actually do have a ring light behind my monitor. So, might as well use that more often. And I think one of the things I do want to make a video on is like an updated version of like a streaming setup for like beginners, because I think I made one before, but I think I want to make a revised version just because I've learned more about it, and after like considerations and things that I was planning on getting but decided not to, it's like I think I want to make an updated version so that with the knowledge I have now, I can give that to people out there if they are looking into doing stuff like this. I would say right now, though, in some ways, it is kind of saturated in terms of like game streaming and gaming content in general. So that's part of the reason why that video, I wanted to focus more on like getting stuff set up so that whether you're doing gaming, lifestyle, or whatever you want to do, it'll just basically give you like a baseline idea of what to expect and, some recommendations to get so that you don't necessarily have to just spend money on equipment just to have it, whereas spend the money on things that you're actually going to be using. So like, for example, this microphone I'm using is it's a Blue Yeti. This one here, if you notice, actually on one of these arms, same company, Blue, which I think is owned by Logitech. But I got this at Best Buy because Best Buy actually had an open box for like dirt cheap. Like, I think it was like around $100, which at the time, just the microphone itself, just this thing itself with the stand, at least at the time, I think they're actually cheaper now, just the microphones. But at the time, it was like 120, 140. It's like, well, I mean, I could just spend $100 just for the arm, but this kit for cheaper not only comes with this, but comes with a microphone and actually comes with this thing here, which if you don't know, it's designed so that, you know, if I'm hitting my desk or anything now, I don't know if the microphone's going to pick that up, but, you know, it has these little elastic bands on it so that it helps absorbs like any kind of hits or anything. So that's the whole point of it. And so far, this microphone for me has been rock solid for the most part. And for my kind of setup I do, this actually works perfectly, because there were other kinds where the microphone kind of like the mounting would like be underneath it and then the microphone sticks up. But because of how my setup is and when I'm not using it, I kind of want it out of the way. So this kind of design where it actually mounts it this way kind of works better. So that's kind of the reason why I went this route. Seems to work better for me. And you know, I use this Elgato ring light, which is nice. Actually, that is one thing I will add to that video of what things to get and how to set things up for streaming and stuff. It's usually better, even though you might spend a little more money, it is better to try to stick to like a single ecosystem. So like the ring light, the Stream Deck, the Elgato Stream Deck. You know, if you stay like, for example, Elgato. There are other brands out there, but Elgato is the more popular one. But if you stick to like a single brand, a lot of the stuff will just work together very nicely. So with my ring light, paired it with my Stream Deck, I can literally control the lights through the Stream Deck. So if I want to turn off the light, I can just power off through the Stream Deck, turns off the light, I can turn it back on. If I need to make it brighter, I can make it brighter. If I want to dim the lights down, I can dim it. If I want to change the temperature of the light, you know, I can add that command to it. It's no big deal. And other commands and buttons on it. So that in that way, it's actually kind of cool to keep it with a single ecosystem in that way. But all in all, sorry, I was kind of ranting there, but going into 2023, one of the goals that I've been trying to do was I wanted to try to get everything set up in the way and fine tune everything in the way so that if I want to either make a video, if I want to just stream or something, I can just do it. I can just load up the program and get going. Now, if you notice in the back there, I do have a Elgato green screen, one of those pull-up things. I'll be honest with you, I don't use it that often. But I don't plan on getting rid of that either. I actually got that thing pretty cheap anyway. That's probably one good thing about ordering through Amazon, is because people tend to buy those things, use it for a project, and then just return it. So then Amazon gets like a crap ton of those returns, and they're basically forced to sell them cheap. So I actually got that one pretty cheap, and it seems like it was only used like once or twice. I mean, the box was all destroyed, but the main thing itself, there wasn't even a single scratch on it. Like all the original stickers and everything was on there. So clearly someone just bought it for some video project that they were just going to use it once and then just return it. So worked out for me. So, oh man, if I ever move, that thing's going to be a pain to load up in the car because, you know, it's pretty big. Well, it's very, very long. But yeah, all in all, besides getting the camera this week, I I think I'm pretty much set in terms of everything I would need going forward. You know, I already have it. You know, I already use tripods. Actually, the camera I'm getting, it's also, well, I'll see what happens when I pick it up, but I'm supposed to get the little vlogger accessory for it. It's one of those Sony vlogging cameras. Actually, I can pull it up real quick. So if I go to Best Buy, since I did a price match through Best Buy, because I'm doing an in-store pickup. Sony camera. Just want to make sure I'm picking the right one. It should be this one, I think. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me. Once I get to the page, I'll switch over. All right, so I'm going to switch to this. So this is the camera I'm getting. Now, I had Best Buy price match, so I'm not paying this price. But I'm getting the camera. I'm getting this camera, which is nice because the viewfinder screen on it folds out. But I'm also getting this with it for the discounted price I paid for. Assuming. So I'm also getting this vlogging kit. So that I'm actually kind of looking forward to. So this is essentially what I'm getting. And, you know, I'll have to play around with it, try it out, see how well it works. But yeah, the nice thing about it is that, you know, I can set it on the desk, use it as a little tripod. You know, if I want to use the camera for other things. And stuff like that. So it's kind of cool in that way. But yeah, from my research, this is actually supposed to be a really, really, really good camera. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. And of course, if we look at the top here, you got the little thing here, so I can stick my little Rode microphone adapter on this thing. So I can literally just attach it on there. And because there is a little headphone jack on it, well, I can just connect it on there. And I'm pretty much all set and ready to go. And I'm pretty sure when I go to the store, I'm going to look for a bag. see, Sony camera bag. So yeah, I can either... if say like something like this will work fine. Or if it's too small, then I'll spend the extra $10 and get the slightly larger one. I'll have to see exactly how big everything is and then pretty much go from there. But yeah, well, I'm kind of hoping for with these bags, it's just basically have the camera, the little vlogging handle thing, the microphone portion of it, and this. So if all this can fit in there, then that would be perfect. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So that if I ever go out in the field to do some recordings elsewhere, well, I pretty much have it all ready to go. And the microphone on this camera, the built-in microphone, is actually, from what I've heard, is actually really good too. So it doesn't necessarily mean I always have to use that thing, but it just gives it another way of doing it. And I may try, actually, you know what? I forgot I also have this other microphone. I don't really use this microphone all that often, this Rode microphone. But yeah, it's just one of these. So you basically attach it on there, and then you just plug this in, and then you got your microphone. So, I may do some experiments and see how well these work, and pretty much go from there. If the built-in one seems like it's pretty much similar to this, then it's probably one less thing I need to carry around in. But yeah, I also have this. So yeah, when it comes to sound quality, I'll say one thing though. Sound quality is actually more important than the video quality. You can have amazing video quality, but if your sound is bad, most people are not going to want to watch your video because the audio is that bad. So I would say you can get by with okay quality video, but don't skimp on the audio quality. And especially now with microphones and just audio equipments in general, a lot of them are actually coming down in price. So you don't really need to spend a lot of money for stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is. And looks like, yeah, this is just a Sony version of that Rode microphone I have. Shotgun, a vlogger shotgun microphone, which that's what this is. It's basically a similar concept to that. But yeah. Anyway, I'll end it here. Like always, have a good one. And thumbs up for a hopefully good 2023 to everyone. I hope everyone had a safe and exciting New Year's. But yeah. We'll see what happens in 2023. Hopefully things will get better. If not, well, we're all in for the ride.